welcome to the revamped streaming, I hope.
Who am I without you?
So fun news, I'm in a new program. I had to redo everything from scratch. My microphone is working. Once again, if you ask me why, I have only rough ideas of why it's working, but hey, it works. I'm happy. You're happy. We're all happy. So this is my first time. Yeah, my cat's in the back. That's Jester. He seemed really offended when I started talking at first. So yeah, this is my first time using this new software. So if as I'm going through something is weird or not working correctly, if you can't hear or the audio is weird, just let me know. Yeah, I just turned the mic up a little bit more. Hopefully this is a good volume. Is the music annoying in the background? Is the, by the way, is the, camera working okay? Because I have this playing on my phone as well, and it's in 144p, and I'm like, pretty sure I'm not that bad. But you know how you can't really tell Google on your phone what you want to like what quality you want to stream at anymore. You just say like, you know, you have the option of like higher picture quality or like data saver. I hit higher picture quality, but apparently 144p is the best. Best I'm gonna get. I don't fucking know. Everything is working for you guys. Okay, that makes me happy. I'm better than potato quality! Yay! How's the audio? I think one of my issues was the headphones I was using. The wire that came with them was, I don't know, thin or something, and it was picking up like static, or like it was picking up electricity from all, because I have a, like streaming setup, right? So there's like a bunch of wires everywhere. I have my monitors, I have everything. So there's a lot of electricity going on over here. And I think that those headphones were just picking up all of the audio. If you go on advanced, you can choose the quality. Oh, can I? Advanced. Select a specific resolution. Yeah, look at that. I'm in 1440p with 60 FSP. Thank you, Jester. That is very attractive. Yeah, it's better now. Oh, thank you. You are so smart, Shinata. Thank you. All right. I wanted music where people weren't going to talk. Okay, let's try this one. So yeah, so thank you for coming today on short notice, as most of my live streams tend to be these days. I wanted to do two things. I wanted to go over the Q3 financials and I haven't done like a HYBE financial review in a while, so I wanted to catch us all up and like kind of look at all of them together. I've like set this whole thing up. You'll see when we get to it. And I did some fun things because I wanted to make it more understandable. Because the way they present the information to you in like their investor packet and everything is very cut and dry, so it's not for the layperson. Like I've said before, if you've watched my Army Finance 101 videos, quarterly earnings are required if you're a public company, but they never want to tell you things that might like be misconstrued. And if like so that like, one, they don't reveal company secrets, but two, they don't tell you something and you go, oh, like I made my financial decisions based on the information you gave me. I bought stock, I sold stock, and it turns out you lied to me. So like they always cover their ass in like the information they provide in an earnings report, and like try to give as little as possible so that there's minimal room for like misunderstanding it. So that's why it's also like not layperson friendly, which is why I'm gonna break it down, and I found a nice fun way to look at it. And yeah, when we get to that, you'll see. I hope it's a little bit easier to understand that way. And then the thing I wanted to start with though is that once upon a time, a while ago, wait, hold on, these headphones. How do I turn the volume down? Anyway, the thing that I said before about my like old headphones picking up too much static, these have a nice thicker wire so they don't pick up like the static and extra electricity, but they're not the best headphones in the world, so like I feel like they're maxed out in my head. Like I feel like I'm blaring in my head, but whatever, that's a problem for me to solve another time. But yeah, did I listen to the conference call too? No, I've listened to them before. They are honestly a little confusing because they like transition between Korean and English. Like they usually talk in Korean and then have a English translator then like say the same thing, but they never say like, oh, okay, and now we're going to review the same thing we just told you, but in English, and they never tell you what slide they're on. So like I listen to them and I'm just like, I'm so lost, and they're usually like over an hour. And I just find them very confusing. Honestly, I think the most interesting things that you can get out of those earnings calls for any company is at the very end they open like the floor for questions, and so usually investors ask questions. But again, you have to remember the company's trying to make sure they cover their ass and they're not saying anything that can be misconstrued. So usually, and then the person asking the question, besides wanting to find out information, they are also usually trying to like look smart. I don't know why. It's like a dick size comparison contest. I've been on like plenty of earnings calls and everyone that I've been on, it's like so many people, usually men, all trying to sound like really smart as they ask the question and then as smart as I answer the question, and I'm just like, okay. And the questions are always like very general because the investor on the outside of the company who's asking the question doesn't know the details of the company. All they know are like the things in the like, I don't know, just like basic analysis that they can figure out themselves. So they're like, you know, how do you think you're doing in comparison to your competitors? Like, I see other companies in your industry are doing blah 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 and blah blah blah. How do you feel about that? And then the company's just like, we've already considered that and implemented that, and you have to understand that the environment is different. Your understanding of it is not as complex. It's a lot, like there's a lot more moving factors, blah blah blah. But yeah, basically I think I'm coming to the conclusion that I am not a fan of earnings calls. We even tried to listen to one on here at one point, and I think everybody fell asleep, including me. But yeah, so anyway, the other thing that I wanted to do today is, once upon a time, way back when, I asked you guys to send me pictures of your BTS displays and bookshelves and all of that, you know, just so I could take a look, because I just thought it would be fun to see how we all decorate our spaces. As you guys know, my decoration is it's this whole office basically, but the biggest spot is behind me. I have a whole wall. Yeah, with like everything that I've bought for BTS. Well, mostly. There's some stuff that's downstairs. I have a lot of like fan art and stuff downstairs, but yeah. So I wanted to see what everybody else does, because we all try to you know, decorate our spaces with BTS stuff differently, and like depending on the room we have and what we've bought. And I've seen some people who have so much merch and so much BTS things that they've bought that their shelves look like a store. And I'm just like, this is so intense. What are you gonna do with this? But yeah, so I just wanted to take a look so we can all hype each other up, and then once we're in a good mood, we will take a look at the financials. Sounds like a plan? From what I was able to find, I only found the Q&A section. They talked about the Weverse live for Lollapalooza, and yet to come Busan, they said they got a good evaluation from fans. Nothing about the lags. Well, yeah, of course they're not gonna talk about anything bad on these earnings calls. Like they're never going to say anything that makes them look bad. Like I'm in my own company. I've listened to my own earnings calls with my CEO and my CFO talking, and I know what's going on in our company, all the good stuff and the bad stuff. And like it's always awkward when they get asked questions and I'm like, oh, somebody figured out the bad stuff, and they have to very carefully talk about things in a way that still makes us look positive. Everyone does this. Every company does this. I think earnings calls, like all of this is required if you're a public company. So if they didn't have to, these companies wouldn't, they wouldn't talk like this. They wouldn't provide this information, but they have to. I think I'm addicted to getting merch now. I'm sorry. That's probably both good and bad. I like getting the Weverse packages, but I finally gotten to a place where I had to reorganize everything so that I would have more room. And then once I did that, I was like, you know what, Yami? Do you really need more things to sit on these shelves? Like, you had to consolidate everything that's in there already. The older things that you've bought are no longer even on display. They're just like stacked in there. Like, I don't know if you can see. Like, that square is all of the season's greetings that I've bought. And like for like winter and summer and all of that. And they're just like squished in there. And I'm just like, I'm not even looking at them. They're just taking up space. So I had to reevaluate, like, what is this merch for? It's bad. I had stopped until they did the photo books. I'm really sorry for you, but also I have a little bit of FOMO, but also like I restrained myself from buying those photo books because I was like, all right, Yami, these are photo books. Unfortunately, they have zero utility. You will look at them once and they will go on your shelf and then you will hoard them like a fucking dragon. I did the same thing. I bought the Map of the Soul 1 photo book. It's like a massive ass thing back there. And I looked through it once and then now it's just there. It's on my shelf and it's really fucking heavy. I could kill someone if I hit them with it. And like sometimes I've justified buying things by being like, well, Yami, you could film a video or show it on stream. And then I don't because I don't know. It takes too much work. I don't think anyone really cares about that anyway. So I'm just like, stop lying to yourself. Anyway, let's take a look at some of these. Bookshelves. By the way, I think I like these this chat box better in this app because your messages stay there instead of disappearing like they did for me in the other program I was using. And then I'd have like my own sidebar that I would like be scrolling up trying to find it. This way your messages stay on screen and I can see them longer. Oh, my eyes are happy. Okay. Alrighty, so you guys have some fun names. The first person I wanted to take a look at is Jin's Thick Lips. And they sent me in a display and a cardboard Jungkook. So I have the bigger version of the pictures here. Let's see, I see Map of the Soul. I don't know what this is. We got Proof. Am I crazy? I don't know what these two are. Oh, this is Young Forever. I don't know what this is. Proof poster. Nice. Oh wow, you got the actual poster for Young Forever. I bet it came with this, didn't it? That's awesome. And HYBE TXT. You're a what do they call them? You're a HYBE stan? If you like more than oh my god, what is this spam? Ugh. Give me a second. Let me get rid of this. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Okay. And then the Jungkook cardboard cutout. Where did that come from? Cool. I like it. I like it. Surround yourself with BTS. The next account person who sent me stuff in is at @TrinHers. Subtle decor for my I forgot about this. I remember pulling this out. This is awesome. Oh my god. That is so many albums. I hope they all counted. I wonder if you bought them just like week after week or just went to the store and bought them. Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. Very subtle. I love it. I love it. Okay. The next account is Siamese Sin, who is very aware that they need a bookshelf. Nice. We got Season's Greetings. Learn Korean with BTS. Unopened, which I also have. I opened it once. Twins. Sowuzu. Oh, you got the tiny tans. That's my thing with buying merch. Sometimes, like, you feel the desire to keep them in their boxes, and then I'm like, but, then what's the point of getting them? You're keeping them trapped. But yeah, I understand, like, the desire to want to keep them pristine and, like, the box. I feel terrible throwing away boxes from, like little BT21 and Tiny Tan merch, but I'm just like, it's a box! It's a box! It has to get thrown away! I need to have some kind of space! Cute. I love them. I see the My Universe single on the corner. Cool. Army membership. Love it. Question for you guys. Are you guys renewing your membership for the Army membership now that there are no concerts? Because personally, I was only doing them for the concerts. Like, because, you know, they give you priority when buying tickets and stuff. And now that we're not having anything, like, mine lapsed in, like, beginning of August, I think. So I was just like, I don't need it. I don't need to renew it. If one of the members announces some kind of concert somewhere where you get priority with Army membership, you know, I will renew that shit in a hot second. I renewed my membership now, but won't do it next year for that same reason, I imagine. Does anyone do, like, the merch kits that you can buy if you have the Army membership? And does anybody know if they're, like, worth it? Because I know sometimes it's like you don't know what you're getting. It's just random. All right, let's move on. Archives girl sent a picture. The top row of regular books is going to have to go live somewhere else soon because I need more room for upcoming releases. Understandable. Put this down here so I can zoom in. Aw, Tiny Tan. All the albums. I just stretched out this picture on accident, but whatever. Wow, that is a lot of albums. That is so many albums. I love it. Here's my thing though. Again, like, I buy all the albums too, but when it comes to actually playing the music, I'm either streaming it through my phone, or I have one CD on rotation in the car. And like, Map of the Soul 7 was in the car for 3 years. Like, when it came out in 2020, it stayed in the car I didn't switch it out with B. I did not switch it out with PTD or butter. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think I only recently took it out in like the last couple of months. And my question is, I bought all this stuff. What am I gonna do with it? We don't even like most people don't even have physical CD players anymore. I see you do, which is smart. Then you can actually like put a bunch of CDs in there and have them play on rotation. I think this is smart. But like even like when it comes to physically playing stuff, people play vinyl instead of CDs. I wish I could have the merch kits, but shipping and taxes. Yeah, can't even buy the normal membership kit. I feel like I bought the last membership kit that was like $15 or something. Honestly, I think the kit was $15 and then the shipping was $25, and I was like, I'm paying more to get this to me than like the actual thing. And it didn't come to me until like almost 8 months later. And I was just like, what is the point of this? But yeah, I did the merch membership the first time, but the shipping is way too expensive. Yeah. I think we all are in agreement on this. They really need to work on that. I feel like it's expensive because they are prioritizing manufacturing all of the merch in Korea, because it's probably more beneficial for them to do that right now. That doesn't mean they should be doing that. I definitely think they need to figure out a way to make shipping cheaper for all of us, but I feel like that's why it's still expensive, because they're manufacturing it in Korea so that they can control the quality of it maybe and then shipping it to the rest of the world. I buy albums because I'm convinced streaming will go the way of the 8-track. What's 8-track is a website, right? What do you mean? Bung Luna, please explain. You could put proof in the CD player. I could. I think I did for a while. But my problem is that I can only do one CD in the car at a time. And each CD on proof only had like, it didn't have that many songs on it. It was like 12 or something, right? So I would cycle through them really quickly and it was driving me nuts. So I went back to streaming from my phone so that I could throw in other BTS songs in there. That's why Map of the Soul 7 was like the perfect album to have in the car, because that like the first CD has like 25 songs on there. It's got a bunch. So it was like the perfect thing to have in the car. I'm still waiting on my membership kit from last year. Didn't get the merch kit. Didn't think I'd really use any of it. Yeah, well, I got it. And wait, hold on. Did it ever actually come to me? Am I hallucinating? What if it still never came to me? I buy things from Weverse, and at this point, I try not to even look at what I've bought so that I don't go, oh my god, this still hasn't come to me. Fun fact. Do you guys remember a while ago, oh my god, a long time ago, some collector's edition store was offering you could buy a figure of each BTS member in their MMA 2018 outfits. Hold on. I will find this for you because you're gonna love how long I've been waiting for this. Oh god. Okay, maybe I don't know how to find it. Hold on. Okay, this thing. Okay. These. Do you remember this? This was announced. That I bought this in end of 2020. And they said that they would ship mid 21. It is now almost the end of 2022. I think I've been waiting. They've delayed shipping this for like a year and a half. And every time I get the update emails telling me that it's been delayed some more, I just laugh. They've even told me, like, do you want to cancel your, because you have to put a deposit on them. They're like, do you want to cancel your deposit? Like, we've waited so long to send this to you. You could walk away from this. And I was like, no, even though it is a lot of money. I think I spent, because I got all 7 of them, I think I spent over $1,000 on them. Yes, I have no chill. But yeah, but I was just like, no, I committed to this emotionally years ago. Give me my BTS. This is one of the greatest performances they've ever given, and I fucking want to own it. Plus, I have other BTS figures. I'll take pictures of it later. They're like little tiny SK Telecom ones that they sold years ago, that are also very expensive. My husband bought them for me. I think they were some. No. Yanked out my headphones. 1 sec. Okay. Yeah, they were like a similar price point. Yes, I have no chill. But yeah, so they've been so delayed. They've been so absolutely delayed. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. I want them. I will wait. At this point, it's like a joke. Every time, like, I like send screenshots to my friend every time I get an update email. I'm like, look, it's delayed again. Maybe by the time, like, 2030 rolls around, I'll finally get them. Before tapes, 8-track is what you use to play before cassettes. Ah, okay. Well, then what are we gonna do after? Wouldn't that mean that physical albums are like a step back from streaming? I don't know. I feel you though. I like having physical stuff too. I just don't have anywhere to play it anymore because streaming is so much more convenient. And my car is like, you can only play 1 CD at a time. You fool. Who plays CDs anymore? I keep hard copies in tech to play them because I don't trust streaming. Yeah. There's some stuff I would have wanted. Wasn't there a music box or jewelry box or something like that? That was beautiful. I think so. I vaguely remember it. Again, I have a problem with, like most of you, I have a problem with spending money on merch. So I try to avoid looking at things. Because if I don't look at it, if I don't see it, I can't get FOMO. I can't miss it. Because I don't know what it is. Side note, with 2018 award show performances, the official Mnet video for Idol at 2018 Mama isn't on YouTube anymore. There are only fan uploads. I wonder why. That's very interesting. Weird. Alright, let's look at these some more. This is Spooky Hairy Cat. This is a nice display. All of these are bunched up in my shelf because I've run out of room. Oh, and you got the D-Day calendar. That's super cute. I just combined the words super and so and said super cute. Oops. Oh, I like this. I have this this thing too, the like book, the like metal book that opens up and it's like BTS and you can turn the light on in it. That was cool. But then the battery on my light ran out and I haven't really figured out how to fix it. I wish you could plug it into the wall instead of it needing a battery. This is awesome. This is really cool. This is also really full. What happens if you get anything more? You're gonna have to do what I did and consolidate everything. and then it doesn't look as nice anymore. This is cool. I like this. House of OT7. Nice name. Oh shit, this is cool. This is commitment. Oh, and I even like the what do you call them? I saw some on Bangtan Etsy Or where you can get like stuff like this, where it's like a framed like glass picture of a BTS song or BTS album. I don't know if that's what this is, but that's really cool. Wow, this is... Look at how much money this represents. Like, all of us are insane. And you know what? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why we're like this. Because once upon a time, merch was incredibly hard to come by. Like real official BTS merch. If you weren't in Korea or Japan, you were fucked. And all of us so desperately wanted to be included that we were buying counterfeit shit everywhere. And it wasn't as good. Or we were buying from third-party sites who would say like, oh, this is official, but then sometimes it just turned out to be counterfeit as well. And so I think when Weverse started and when official merch first became available, I think we all felt included for the first time. Like this started happening, like Weverse opened in 2019. And I think we finally felt included and we finally felt like, oh my God, we have access to things. And that desire to just be a part of things and like enjoy the merch that was denied to you for so long has just overwhelmed us. And I think it's been really hard to step back from that and realize like, no, it's okay. It's okay. You can skip a merch drop. You don't need everything. You're welcome, HYBE. Morphe1002 shows us her work or their work in process. Nice. These are nice displays of the albums. Shipping cost though. Yeah, exactly. Shipping cost is so painful. Oh, this is cool. You even have the magazines out on display. Mine are in a box. I have a shit ton of magazines and they're just in a box. I like this. Although it sucks because they're going to collect dust that way and magazines are harder to clean. That's why mine are in the box. I'm like, I don't get to see you, but at least you stay dust free. Meh. Oh, baby RJ. It's so cute. Nice. This is a great display. And you even have fancy lights above it. This is awesome. This literally looks like a store display. Wow. I'm impressed. Love it. Yontan561 BTS sit up. Initially I read it as showing ways I stream BTS on different devices. This is all I have dedicated after I got the magazines by my bedside. My daughter has all their album collection, but let me take a picture. That's okay. That is okay. We all know what that looks like. It looks like we all have no chill. Love it. These are very nice displays. It's annoying because you either need to have a shit ton of bookshelves for all of this, or you need to be minimal in your purchasing habits so that you can actually display what you have. I like this. Tay makes it right. Nice. This looks like I actually like that this is all behind a case because then it's not going to collect dust as much. Smart. Are those the perfumes? The BTS perfumes? Nice. Again, all the tiny tans, but they're trapped in their boxes because none of us want to throw them away, right? It's so annoying. Stop making everything look so good that we all have problems even opening the shit we buy. Love it. Another little shrine here. I love it. Nice. I saved my no, they're not the same. I saved my what did we call these? Banners? Slogans. Yeah, I have mine framed. There's like two frames of them. Those are great. So much. This is so nice. Thank you for sharing. I love it. Two more. Serenity OT7 sends us this nice shelf. I like how you have the boxes then you have Tiny Tan, and then you have a chicken. A plus. Nice, nice. More than one album. I just look at this and I see like none of us have any chill. Oh, I like that. The whale wearing the headband. Love it. You got the calendar too. Was that worth it? Because like you're supposed to open it, right? And there's like a little, it was like an advent calendar, right? All right, and then our last one is from Jin's Gen 1156 with this awesome display. I guess this is another way you can use CDs. You can fix them to your wall. I love it. I wonder what so let's see. We've got the first, second album, then this one, then all of the HYYH stuff, then Young Forever, then Wings, then Her. Oh, I think you left room to buy Tear. Cause then no, this is Her. This is Answer Love Yourself Answer. I always confuse it with the song title. I guess you have empty spots left for when you get Tear. Oh, but there's one Tear right here. I think the order, I'm lost on the order of this, but I love it. I think this is cool. Nice. Nice. Again, things actually on display. A plus. I can see you're a Jin bias. Tell me you're a Jin bias. I'm telling you you're a Jin bias. Nice. Oh, this is so cute. This is a good use of the photo cards. You know, because I'm always like, I have photo cards. What the fuck do I do with them? The chicken was my grandmother's. Nice. Those magazine, yes. This was a great magazine. They were unbelievably hot. I have this memories thing too. That's the other thing. When they keep sending us extra like frames and things with memories, I'm just like, bold of you to assume that I don't already have way too many pictures of BTS and have room for anything else. House of Cards. This is cool. What is this? Is this a book or a notebook? I don't remember this. I like it. Cool, cool. This is a really cool design. I like that. Alrighty, well, that's it for the BTS displays. I enjoyed looking through them. If you guys ever want to send me more, and I can collect them and do another one of these show and tell things. Maybe I'll actually go take pictures of what I have, because there's other stuff I have in the room that you can't see because it doesn't fit into the camera. But yeah. Alrighty, so you guys ready for some learning? Let's see. Let me change this music. That's so strange that the performances aren't on YouTube anymore. Okay. Go back to my tried and true lo-fi music. I was trying to find some peppier music today, since I'm talking about finance stuff, but I don't like it as much, so. Alrighty. So, welcome back to another Army Finance 101 class with your host, Yami. Today we are going to look through the Q3 PDF that they send out with their earnings report. I guess it is their earnings report. And then I will show you a fun little thing that I made to help us understand it a little bit better. So, all right, starting from the top. The normal disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. We're covering our ass. Don't trust anything that we didn't say. So here is their earnings summary. On here, they're showing it to us Q3 as compared to last year Q3, and then compared to Q2. So I hate looking at it this way because this is in Korean won, and I have, and it's also in millions, so it's really hard for me to conceptually understand what I'm looking at. So I like to translate it into the US dollar. I think there was an industry issue on who gets the money for the YouTube videos of the performance. That's why most of them are gone. Well, that's fucking weird. Wouldn't you think they would resolve it? It should be like the same thing that they do with any artist. Whatever. I'm sure someone has it downloaded somewhere. You know how armies are. Or maybe if they don't get it resolved eventually, HYBE will give us back those performances. Although, aren't they on some of the memories? I should go take a look at my 2018 memories, see if they're in there. But yeah, anyway. So, this isn't fun to look at. So, the other thing that HYBE sends is they send Excel files with the same data. And it's also in Korean. But when it's in Excel, it's a lot easier to manipulate. So here is the same, so literally the same thing. All I did was I separated it out. I put headers on it, and I actually have every single quarter in here from like March, basically Q1. That they had an earnings report. Yeah, because they went public in October of 2020, so their first full quarter would have been January to March of 2021. So I went through. So here's all the things they say on their income statement. I translated them into English so that it would be easier for us to look at. So we'll just hide this. So this is what they're saying. This is their income statement. And then I said, okay, so let's look at revenue first. So right now, I'm just gonna hide this. So this is Q3. So this is all, it's still in Korean won, right? So I just kind of made it look nice. Well, the other thing I did was I translated it into the US dollar. I did that using the exchange rate at the end of every quarter, which is what you're supposed to do. I don't know if any of you guys care, but like I literally have the exchange rate, historical exchange rate pulled out. And what I took this and I basically translated whatever was written here in Korean into US dollars, and I multiplied it out so that it's now in actual dollars, not in like millions of dollars and millions of won or whatever. So in Q3, their total revenue that they earned was 312 million fucking dollars. Which is a very good amount of money to make. Compared to the last quarter, they've made a little bit less compared to that. They've definitely made more than they did in the first part of this year. I even wrote out on the side like things that I think happened this year, as like I was trying to remember, like the BTS Vegas concerts happened in April, so they would be included in here, not in here. BTS Proof came out in June, so that would be in here. Jack in the Box came out in July, so that would be here. HYBE Palooza was in July, so that would be there. And then I don't think we had anything else from BTS until the Busan concert, but that was in October, so that's not going to be included in here. That'll be in Q4. And Jin's song The Astronaut is also in October, so we're not going to see it until Q4. Can you think of anything else that happened this year with BTS? Any big events? I don't think there are. But maybe you guys remember something I don't. And then outside of that, TXT had an album come out in May. I think they had another one come out more recently. Let's double check. TXT album release. No, maybe they didn't. no, the last thing that they did came out in May. 17 had an album in May. Le Seraphim debuted in May. So basically most of this stuff, like all of this right here, all of this happened in Q2. So that to me is why Q2 is so like huge in terms of how much money they made. I really don't think much happened in January. Yeah, and if you look at Q3 compared to the prior year, Q3, they've definitely made a lot more money. Last year, in July to September, all they had was like butter and PTD sales, I think. No, butter and PTD came out in May and June, so that would have been here. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely things have picked back up now that the world has opened back up in, you know, living in a post-pandemic society, whatever we're calling it these days. So that's why they made a shit ton of money in Q2. And in Q3, the amount of money that they made is finally starting to shift in the direction of indirect involvement versus direct involvement. So for those of you who don't know, a while ago, HYBE announced their intent to become a business where the majority of their money is coming from artist indirect involvement. So things like Weverse, so like merch, anything that doesn't have to do with the artist directly. So things that have to do with the artist directly are albums, them performing at a concert, or them having to make appearances for ads at some event or like on some show. So that's artist direct involvement that physically requires them to do something. Stuff that doesn't require them to do something is merch, content like I think, like, for example, I think tickets to go to a concert would fall into the artist direct involvement category. But I think the recording of that concert and like your ability to buy it as a DVD or Blu-ray, that falls under contents. Does that make sense? So basically, like, they want to find a way to make money where the artist doesn't have to be like a dancing monkey. And then the last category here is fan club, like the memberships that we were talking about, like Tiny Tan, BT21, In the Soup. Yes, that would all fall under contents. In the Soup. Well, In the Soup is the game, right? Yeah, that would definitely fall under content or merchandising and licensing. And also any game that they make is going to be done in conjunction with the branch of their company or the hold on. I made a big PowerPoint of this so we can easily reference it. Basically, they either own or they have a joint venture with the company Benex that makes the like all their games and stuff. Finance. I'm gonna find. Oh God, I haven't looked at this in forever. Where's my PowerPoint? Alternatively, I have the video that I made on my desktop. Let's just scroll through it real quick. By the way, if you guys never watched this video, you should watch it. It's Army Finance 101, Why Big Hit is Brilliant. I literally went through everything that HYBE did and like what their purpose of all of that was. So this is their partnership with Keysway to do the live streamed concerts, which created Venue Live, which is now like working with which is like has been integrated into Weverse. Then they went public, blah blah blah, how going public works, blah 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 blah, me talking about a lot of shit. And then they had a partnership with YG for merch and distribution. And YG artists went on Weverse. There. Naver gave Benex, or sold Benex to Big Hit, so Benex became Weverse, and then VLive also, yeah, VLive got sold to them. Where is my... Okay, and then I said everything is really complicated now, so they redid it. So this is the current structure, I think, as we know it, of HYBE. Here's all their music labels. Here's all their services. HYBE 360, which is everything to do with concerts. HYBE IP, which is Tiny Tan, BT21. HYBE Education, which is Learn Korean with BTS. Superb. I don't remember what Superb is. That might be the money, the gaming thing. That this it's either this or this. Anyways, part of their blah 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 blah. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, I think basically, like, yes, so in conclusion, in the SOM Tiny Tan BT21 is going to be part of merchandising and licensing, and it's going to be part of content at the same time, because they try to make all the gaming stuff in-house, or they have this partnership with this company. I haven't looked into it recently, so I don't know what if they've had any updates regarding that. And the SOM got lots of money from me when it first came out. You know what? When BTS World came out, I spent so much money. I spent at least... do I want to admit this? This was in 2019, so it's been a couple years, but I think I spent upwards of $500 in that game. I lost my fucking mind. It was my first BTS game. It was my first gacha game. And I could not resist. I could not. I wanted to win everything. And then I realized, Yami, you don't know what to do with photo cards that you physically get. What are you doing with these virtual photo cards? What are they for? I don't know. But yeah, so in conclusion, I have not played in the SOM because I know that I can't resist spending money. So I need to avoid that game, so I don't spend money in it. Anyway, back to this. So anyway, long story short, HYBE wanted to have a business where they're going to make more of their money from artist indirect involvement instead of direct involvement, because that is more sustainable. That puts less pressure on the artist to have to do everything, to have to carry their company basically, and to not give them, it would force them to, be put in a position where they would feel like they would have to sacrifice their health to make sure that they're still making music, that they're performing, that they're, doing appearances and going on award shows and TV shows. Basically, the current K-pop model. HYBE was like, no, we don't want to do that. We want to make money from the artist and give them space to breathe and experiment and, figure out what direction they want to go in. And that model and the creation of Weverse is precisely why BTS has the room to, one, go to the military, and two, do solo stuff and experiment, and hopefully after the military, like, that this also still gives them the space to recover mentally, because it's going to be intense to be in the military. We all know that stuff changes you mentally. So this kind of model gives BTS the space, and other male artists the space to, well, all artists, but especially male artists that have to go to the military, gives them the space to be able to prioritize their mental health and physical health before making money for their company. So you can see over time, yeah. So right now, 54% is indirect involvement, 46% is direct. Last quarter, it was like 2/3 going into the artist direct involvement because everything that happened, all the concerts and all the albums that got released, was heavily on that side. Otherwise, it's been a little bit more equally distributed in prior quarters. So there's Q1. And then in Q4, it was the opposite. 2/3 was artist indirect involvement. What happened in Q4? You had last year, Q4 was PTD concerts in LA. Huh, but other shit came out for us to watch, didn't it? I don't remember. But outside of that, it's like usually it's like evenly split. And then some quarters when things happen or less things happen, it like goes one way. But basically this is the model that HYBE wants. Like majority of its income, 2/3 of its income coming from indirect involvement, 1/3 direct. So that's good for them. Their cost of sales, it went up here, it went down here. That's good. I mean, ideally you want the cost of making anything that you're making money off as low as possible, because then you get to keep more money in profit. The gross profit is a nice, still big chunk of change. Their gross profit this year, for this quarter, is $147, almost $148 million. And then they have a bunch of expenses. Payroll. They pay people. They have a lot of people employed. I wonder what their headcount is. Transportation costs is like transporting either people and like, you know, like travel, flights, hotels, whatever. Or it could be the cost of transporting, like if they're doing concerts, transporting all that equipment, maybe? I'm not sure. Amortization is just any debt they have. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Nah, it doesn't matter. The building that they are in, I think they're renting. The rent seems to have gone down a little bit. Good for them. This outsourcing fee could be maybe them outsourcing making in the Sohm video game to that other company that they like to work with. And then doesn't matter. So their net operating margin in this quarter is less than it was. Hold on, I'm gonna lock this. It's less than it was last quarter, but it is more than they made in Q1. So, I mean, like, they're still a profitable company. And this is despite the fact that in Q3, sorry, I lied. The only things that really happened in Q3 were Jack in the Box and HYBE Palooza, right? Like, I don't really remember anything else happening July to September. Net income before tax. They're making a good amount of money. Their corporate tax continues to be high. And then the other thing they have down here is they do have someone who is a non-controlling shareholder. I don't know who it is. It could be someone outside of HYBE, not New Jeans debut. When did New Jeans debut? Let's look this up. August. Oh. Yeah, maybe. Is it one word? New Jeans debut. August. No, it's 2 words. I've seen it as 1 word before as well. Anyway, so whoever this controller is, the non-controlling shareholder, I mean, they can't do anything. I wish there's like a graph somewhere or a chart somewhere that it's like a official statement that has to be filed with the Korean Trade Commission of like who the controlling shareholders are and like their shares that were bought or sold during a quarter. But for me, it's really hard to understand because it's all in Korean. And it doesn't seem to like logically be like going in a grid across the page. It's like weird. I've seen Bora try to translate it, but I think it wasn't as clear as it could have been. I think she thought that there was like, she thought it was more obvious than it was. And I just looked at it and I'm like, I don't get it. But yeah. So anyway, I mean, all you have to know is that HYBE continues to be a profitable company. And this is despite the fact that BTS announced their solo stuff in June, right? So here's them in Q3, right? In the first quarter after their announcement, and HYBE continues to be making money. HYBE continues to be whatever they're doing right. And people, us fans, are still continuing to buy a shit ton of merch and content and stuff like that. So if I was HYBE, I would just say like, look, we have a plan to continue to make money while BTS are doing their military service. It will either consist of solo work or it will consist of other content that we've created with them that's indirect involvement before they go. Maybe it's another game, maybe it's a book, maybe it's stuff that they filmed that they're gonna continue releasing slowly over time. Like this, if I was HYBE, I would literally be saying like, I still have my shit together, like we still know what we're doing, don't worry, we will continue to make money. You know, like the fan base is loyal and we will continue to treat that loyalty with respect and give them good quality merch to buy and good quality content to watch or interact with. But yeah, so long story short, that's this earnings portion. This is their update on Weverse. There's still stuff they're going to put on Disney Plus too. Yeah, you're right. Oh, when did Disney Plus get the PTD concert? Let's look this up. BTS PTD on Disney Plus. I'm very good at spelling. I think it came out in September on Disney Plus. Yeah, because we got like the like trailer for it the same day. Okay, so that's included in Q3. That's awesome. But yeah, so back to this. So this is HYBE's update on Weverse. This is them saying, hey, this chart is millions of active users. So they're saying they had a dip in I can't see what this is. What is this? In Q4 of 21 through Q3 of 22, they lost users. I don't know why. Did they lose people? Did some artists leave? I don't know. But they lost users, but now it's higher than ever in this last quarter. So it's higher than it was even before in its last high. I wonder why. Well, BTS have been more active on Weverse. They have released more merch for us to buy. Maybe other artists joined and they've been active. Artists have transferred from VLive to Weverse now, right? It didn't all happen in this last quarter, or did it? Maybe that's what it was, right? Because VLive is officially closed. Maybe in this last quarter, all of those artists have moved from VLive to Weverse and brought fans with them. So maybe that's what this is. This is average revenue per paying user. So this is saying that in Q3 of this year, compared to Q3 of last year and Q3 of 2020, they are making the most money per user than they have before. The most they've ever made per paying user was in Q2 of 2021, which would have been March to June. So that would have been butter. We all lost our minds over butter apparently, and they made the most. And I guess between butter and the merch, and PTD and the merch, I think the jump happened when they released the new Weverse interface. Weverse got updated? What? There's a new Weverse interface? Please explain. Am I losing my mind? Do I not use Weverse enough? Oh, yeah. Not the Weverse shop, the Weverse. Like, yeah, you're right. They did update it. But my thing is that just an updated, well, yeah, who knows? Maybe you're right. Maybe it is in part that with the new interface, people were like, oh, okay, I'll go back and check it out now. I'll go play around with it some more, which would have made them an active user when they were maybe just like an inactive user before. But yeah. So basically what they're saying right now, right here, is that they have made the most this year. They have had steady, like a little bit of growth quarter over quarter in terms of how much money they're making per active payer, per paying user. The only other time they've made more money is in Q2 of 2021. But yeah, so this is again showing positive growth. It means that whatever they're doing with Weverse is working. Granted, we know as said paying users that there are plenty of places they could improve Weverse on, specifically the shipping and specifically in variety of merch. We would all prefer to have more variety in than the kind of stuff that they provide. But to the investor, this just shows that like you can have confidence in them and their strategy and whatever they're doing with Weverse. It's working, so it can only improve. And a whole lot of new artists have been added onto Weverse following the update. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's probably it. That's probably why there was such a big jump in terms of millions of active users. And then the last one, payment amount trend, is just saying like in one transaction, how much are people spending? So they are saying here that in 2022 they've had a steady amount of growth quarter over quarter in terms of how much you can't see in terms of stop it. They've had steady growth in terms of the amount of money people are willing to spend per transaction. They've had two other times where people spent more, which was in Q2 of 21 and in Q4 of 21 as well. Q4 was the concert. Maybe people bought merch online. I don't know. At this point, all of their merch drops are blending together for me. But yeah. Okay, so basically, again, all of this is just saying that whatever they're doing with Weverse is working. They have a good strategy. It's definitely solid. They're doing something right. They will continue to do those things right. And they will hopefully improve where they can. Good God. Because the thing is if they fix the shipping, then people will buy more, right? Because if I'm willing to spend, I don't know, $100 to buy something, and that $100 is like 60% is buying the item, and then shipping is another $40, so in total I've spent $100. I'm like, fine, okay, I want this item that badly. If they fix the shipping cost so that shipping is more like $10, $15, I've already said that I'm okay with paying $100. So if they give me an item that's worth like $85, $90, I will buy it. I will pay the $10, $15 in shipping, and they get more money out of me instead of having the shipping costs siphon away part of the amount I'm paying. So I found a Twitter that was talking about content sales that said with BTS, DVDs and Disney Plus were major contributors along with the game in the film. Yeah. I mean, I would agree with that. So let's see. DVDs Disney Plus. Yeah. And In the Somme. Yeah. Yeah, I would guess for In the Somme. Because I think the more I think about it, I think whatever gaming company they work with, is it Marble? Netmarble? Are they still working with them? Whoever the gaming company is like, it's someone who knows Bang Nim. I don't know. They have a relationship with this company, right? And the type of money they would earn from that would be like licensing BTS's likeness, their inside jokes, blah blah blah, whatever. And then the game, and then they would have to pay for the game being developed by the other company, which I think the cost of that would be here in this outsourcing commission fee section. But yeah. Anyway, Weverse is doing good. Moving on. Growth driver, multi-label technology, boundless collaboration. Okay. Multi-label. Diversifying artist IP with 9 distinct labels in Korea, Japan, and US. Okay, so what they're saying is they want to create an independent production environment and encourage collaboration and competition among labels. Okay, that's interesting. So basically what they're saying is like, hey, we have all of these labels and we have made it a point not to just have Big Hit eat all of them and be in charge of all of them. They are all still different. They are all still doing their own thing, and we like that they're individual and distinct and, you know, steering their own ship, and we want to encourage friendly competition among them because competition stimulates creativity. So Big Hit is obviously BTS, TXT, and HYBE. Pledis is 17. Source Music is Le Seraphim and maybe New Jeans. B-Lift, no. Well, B-Lift is partially in HYBE. I have no idea what this is, and I have no idea what this is. I've not been paying attention. And then obviously they have HYBE America, which is where Ithaca Holdings is, which is all the American artists like Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande. I don't remember who else. Country people. New Jeans is under Adore Labels. Thank you. Okay, New Jeans is here. HYBE UMG is the collaboration they're doing with Universal Music Group to make another boy group. I talked about it in my Big Hit video. They're having some group that they're working on with that would be a joint venture. And then obviously their Japan labels. Is Cause Zico's label? It could be. Yeah, you're right. Cause is Zico. Oh, I should have known. I even wrote this in here. Thank you. But yeah, so they want to create that's what they are talking about when they say we want to create an independent production environment. 2, they want to apply the K-pop production system to a global market, extend to various genres, countries, and cultures. I think what they're trying to say here is that the way of like the business strategy of how a K-pop company works, where you have in-house the where you where's my thingy? Where's my thing? Okay, so where you have one company that manages the music. You can't see. Okay. Where basically you have a K-pop agency makes the music, it manages the artist, it sells the music, and it distributes the music, obviously with partnership, but it's basically a one-stop shop that is in charge of everything, has in-house production team, and works as a team more than the way we do it in the West, where like this model does also a lot of like artist like talent development, taking care of the artists and helping them develop their skills and helping them understand like how to meet the market and figuring out like what is the kind of music people want to hear. versus in the West, it's more like you have these big labels who are always hunting for new artists, who will most likely have done that talent development on their own, and sometimes get taken advantage of because they're naive and they'll take a record deal with a label because they want to make it big, and they don't understand that the label doesn't care about them as people. They just see them as like an investment, and they're going to squeeze them dry of every dollar they can give them through their music and performances, and then they'll get discarded. But yeah, I think that's what they mean by this apply K-pop production system. And then hedge risk through diversified artist portfolio, enhance flexibility to trend change. Yeah, basically what they're saying here is that, hey, like, we have all these different artists who dabble in different genres and are focused on different types of music, and we like that because that means that we have our foot in a bunch of different areas of the music industry and the music market. So if trends change and people decide, oh, I don't like dubstep poppy music anymore, I'm more into like indie like folky music, or like, oh, I don't like boy groups anymore, I only like girl groups, or like I like ballads more than I like energetic music. Like, there is someone that HYBE has that could answer that. And also I think what they mean is that when you have a large portfolio of lots of different diversely successful artists, some of those artists can take time off to either go to the military or do their personal thing, and the company won't collapse because they're not all being supported by one artist. The same thing that I've been talking about for years in all of my Big Hit and HYBE and BTS videos, that this is the way you make artists sustainable, music sustainable. I think this is such a better approach than what we currently have in the West. And I will never stop supporting them for doing this, because I think it's really important. It seems so obvious that this is how artists should be treated, that they should be supported and protected and developed and cared for by the company that they are under. But that's not been the case in the past because there was no BTS. There was no example of, hey, if you treat your artists well, they will become incredibly mega successful. Now that there is, and Big Hit's like, this is what we do. We think this is the best strategy, and other companies are there like, we want to be mega successful. I guess we have to do what Big Hit and HYBE are doing. I guess we have to treat our artists well. Isn't that insane? I think the owner of Netmarble helped financially when Big Hit was young. Yes, I agree. I think it's like someone related to Bang PD Nim. I just don't remember who. And Hypin is under B-Lift. B-Lift was originally introduced as a joint label between Big Hit and CJE and Ep. Yes, I agree. That is correct. And they're also debuting a new girl group under B-Lift through that Island show in 2023, I think. Oh, that's cool. I like this. This is how it's supposed to be. Lots of diverse artists at various stages of their career, pursuing different types of music, connecting with different portions of the music market. This is what it's supposed to be. I think it's Bang's cousin. Yeah, it might be his cousin. Yeah, good, thank you. All right, so moving on. Basically, they're saying, here's our fucking strategy, you losers. Copy it if you want to be successful. Treat your artists well. Encourage creativity. Encourage artistry. Don't put a boot on your artist's fucking head and expect them to want to work for you. Big surprise, right? And then this is their examples of that working. Source Music, Le Sserafim. And this is their debut this year. When did Le Sserafim debut? I literally just wrote this down. Debuted in May. They were number 14 in Billboard 200. Shortest time in the history of K-pop girl group history. I don't know what that means, but good for them. They were number 1 in Oricon weekly chart. Oricon is the Japan version of Billboard, right? You have Billboard in the West, in America. You have Oricon in Japan, and in Korea you had Gaon, but now apparently it's been renamed to Circle Chart. So yeah, Circle Chart. But yeah, since debut, sales of 2 albums surpassed 1 million. On the first day of the music video release, they entered the YouTube trending video in 62 countries. Good for them. New Jeans debuted in August. They were #1 in first week album sales for a debuting girl group. As of October 31st, cumulative sales of 620,000 units, surpassed 10 million monthly Spotify listeners, and more than 100 companies making advertising offerings. Again, good for them. Like, this is HYBE saying, like, hey, that strategy we literally just outlined for you, this is us implementing it real time. Look how promising our new artists are. Like, we're not a one-trick pony. BTS was not the only artist that we were capable of supporting to get them to become so successful. We can do it. We understand how this works, and we understand that it's about being different. We're never going to create the next BTS. We're going to create the first LE SSERAFIM, the first TXT, the first New Jeans. Like, this makes me really happy, considering how much we always know that it's wrong and dumb for other companies to be looking for the next BTS. It's not about that. It's about make your own mark. Do it your way. But God forbid anyone has any originality. But yeah, and what's this other group? Let me move this over. Stop it. And Team. Planning to debut in Japan in December. They're already #1 in Spotify Daily Viral Songs, #1 in Line Music Top 100, and broadcast on national TV. Well, good for them. This is my first time hearing about them. Let me zoom in on their picture. Really cute. I do like that HYBE hasn't forgotten about Japan. And it kind of almost seems like them rubbing it in the face of all these other competitors, like, hey, we are successful in Korea, in America, and in Japan. The 3 biggest music markets in the world. Fuck y'all. Trainee A also on the way. Yep, you're right. Exactly, be original and unique because there's an audience for everybody. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Trainee A had a reality show like Island. I've heard about them. I'm excited to see what comes out of that. Who are they under? Do we know what their label is? Alright, multi-label achievements. Revenue trend for HYBE artists except BTS. So this is HYBE pointing out, okay, even if you take BTS out of the equation, look at our fucking growth. Like, we are not a one-trick pony. You need to calm down with your freakouts over BTS going to the military. We will continue to be a profitable company. Like we are not, our success does not hinge upon BTS. Which I am very happy about. And we should all be happy about. Because if that's the case, then BTS can live their lives with so much less pressure. But yeah, so they're saying in 2019, little money, 2020, more money. This is when they started acquiring all the labels. 2022, even more money, despite a fucking pandemic. Look how much more money they're making. And then in 22, they're projecting to have a growth of 35 to 40% from the prior year. In the first half. Oh, so this is the first half of 22, and this is the amount of money. So look, in the first half of the year, they almost matched their entire revenue from the previous year. And they're expecting it to grow even more. Hold on, give me a second. Okay. I'm still curious as to what label Trainee A is under. Trainee A is going to be under Big Hit Music. Oh, cool. I heard, I don't know if this is true, that Supreme Boy is their main producer. Kind of like how Slow Rabbit broke off and is the main producer for TXT. Interesting. I mean, honestly, I like that they allow the producers to have flexibility and creativity like that as well. Pursue creative pursuits. Have creative pursuits. Yeah, I think when it comes to making art, you have to give people space to explore themselves artistically, whether they're a fandom facing artist or whether they're the production staff behind them. I think all of that is important in order for you to feel like you are being nourished as an artist, and that therefore makes you want to be creative. And I have never understood why the music industry, whether it's the K-pop industry or the Western music industry, would not look at it like that and would turn it into you need to make a song that fits this market, that is, singing about trendy topics, and you're collabing with this hot new artist that everyone is into. Like, it's a formula, go make a song. Like, that's not how art works. There is no formula. All you can do is create an environment that is supportive and nourishing and enabling. Because you're dealing with art, and art is not a formula. Art is like something that comes from your emotions. You know what I mean? It just seems so obvious to me from the side that I've never understood why that's not how these companies operate. They operate as if it's all like an investment. Most music executives are money men. Bang PD is an artist himself. Yes, you are very right. That probably is why there's a difference. But then again, like, JYP is an artist. The three SM, YG, like the Lee Soo-man, like all of the heads of all of those companies, aren't they all, former musicians in some way? I don't know. Whatever. I guess common sense isn't common, right? All right. Music and tech. Bring new experiences to fans by implementing technology into music. 1. Weverse. Scale up and scale out. Subscription-based services with more features. Artists from Japan and US to join the platform. I'm pretty... JYP wants avatars for himself. Yeah, I think JYP is not very good at being creative. I'm pretty sure all the big three founders are musicians and producers. Yeah, that's what I thought. But none of them have been able to translate their understanding of music into a sustainable model for artists in their industry. Sue the man. Lee Soo-man also wants avatars for himself. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. Whatever. Anyway, Weverse. Okay, so we're going to have a subscription-based service with more features. An artist from Japan and US to join the platform. Yeah, so they're saying, like, look, we have found a way to connect artist with fan. We have shown that, like, there is desire to be on this platform with these artists. We are going to allow, I hope, I think what they're saying is, like, Weverse will still be free to join, but if you want additional features, like, you could subscribe. What those additional features are, I don't know. Right now, the only thing they've done is, like, if you have the Army membership, you get access to, like, a separate tab in the the BTS profile where it's, like, for Army members only, and you see, like, extra cute videos of them or cute photos of them. Which is nice and all, but it's not, like, the reason I get the Army membership. I only get it for concerts. But yeah, so they're saying they're going to work on that, and they're going to continue to have even more artists join the platform, which is good. 2, game, expanding boundary of entertainment, new in-house game lineups, enter into game publishing business. Okay. So what they're saying is they're going to make even more games related to their artist IP, which again is good because that is more indirect artist revenue, which is stuff that can make money and generate money and also get its own life. Because, you know, like, games have their own life. They're not because you interact with them, they're not a passive form of media. They're an interactive form of media, which means that, like, there is a chance that you can develop a community of people around a game, which would be awesome because that helps sustain that game and helps sustain like the money that is being generated from that, and again takes that away from the artist. I hope with the VLive integration they have subtitling for English and other languages for all the artists. I think on VLive some languages were done by community translators. Yeah, I definitely think translation is an area of improvement for HYBE. The fact that we didn't get translations for BTS lives until we complained, and I think Jimin happened to see it and then he mentioned to them, is crazy. Like, why would you not include that up front? I believe we're the only ones getting subs. Oh, that's insane. That's insane to me. That's not good. Like, that is a glaring hole in my opinion. You need to fix that ASAP. All right, and number 3, Supertone, voice-based solution business. HYBE's contents, AI-based voice mixing tech, initiate B2B service through voice-based solution. Basically, I talked about this in the what do you call it, in this video. Supertone is like, where are you? Is like they said, it's an AI-based software. It's basically like, it uses AI to simulate someone's voice. So if you need, like, if you have in the SOM, you could have BTS talk into it enough that it learns how they speak, and then it could have them voice the characters in the game without them actually having to go into a recording studio and record every line, which gives them so much free time back and allows us to have, like, a better experience in the game. Or alternatively, yeah, I don't know what else you would use that for. I don't know. That's the only example I can think of. I know there was, like, freakouts about how that would not be, like, that would be creepy or whatever. And I can understand those concerns, and there you, like, run the risk of, like, I don't know, deep fakes or whatever that could be misconstrued. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think the purpose of them acquiring this kind of software is to give time and energy back to the artist and not have them have to be in person for all of these things, especially if they want this like gaming and content to be all artist indirect involvement. If you're dragging the artist into the studio to record their lines for a game or whatever, that's no longer indirect artist involvement. You need them directly involved. But yeah. So again, this is HYBE saying, like, also speaking to the fact that they've wanted to integrate music and technology for a while now. That's been their strategy, and that's them trying to say, like, this is the future of music, like integrating music and the ideas and intellectual property that an artist can spark through their art, like if that's the birth of an idea or a story or whatever, taking that and expanding on it through technology into games, into you know, watching performances live, into merch that you can buy for a character. Like, Tiny Tan is BTS, but Tiny Tan is also its own thing. Like, all of this stuff is like the future of music, and I think HYBE has got it right. I think that is the future. Does the Supertone stuff include, like, hologram performances? I think I remember in the first Weverse con they did a hologram of a Korean musician who had already passed. I agree. I do remember that, and I don't know how it was received. I didn't know who this Korean musician was, so I was just like, oh, okay. I don't think so, but maybe it could be. Supertone is just supposed to be in, it's like, it's a voice thing. So I don't know. I don't think it would be advanced enough to be able to, like, perform to have like an artist sing a new song. I think it would be them. The audio would have to be like an old performance if it's especially like an artist that's passed away. But like maybe the hologram is something else. I don't know. The amount of times I've seen people have BT21 merch and don't even know it has to do with BTS. Yeah, I know. It's really insidious. Yeah. But hey, good for them. So yeah, moving on. This is their income statement again, which we've already looked at, and their balance sheet. I never really find the balance sheet very interesting. The only thing you really need to, I guess, care about, stop it, come here, stay, in a balance sheet is, so this is September of 2020 of this year. This is December of the last 2 years. So this year they have more assets than they had before. Assets would be, I don't know, it would be obviously money that they've earned. It would be equipment that they've bought for concerts. It would be more facilities that they've purchased to manufacture things, but typically people don't buy a manufacturing facility. They like lease it or like go into a service agreement where that manufacturing facility, like factory or whatever, makes stuff for them to their standards. It would be buildings they own. It would be cars and they own. Yeah. And then liabilities. Their liabilities have also gone up, but not as much as, like, not as drastically. So this is really good. Basically, this is healthy. This just means they're not drowning in debt to finance their operation. They're in a good place. They're making a lot of money that they can invest in, you know, buying better concert equipment, buying better facilities, I don't know, spending more money training their trainees, developing them and all that. Yeah, so that's basically that one. And yeah, that's it. That's it. We made it to the end. Yeah, I mean, all in all, HYBE is doing well, as they always oops, as they always have been. They've, I mean, basically given a really solid strategy to say, like, look, calm down. We know what we're doing. We're going to continue to make money. Even without BTS, we will make money. And we still have a plan to make money with them. There's nothing to be upset about. And look at, and like, as proof that we are good at what we do, here's our new artists. And here's the success and recognition that they've already gotten. And they just debuted this year. So if there isn't anything else that can tell you that we know what we're doing, like, like, what else do you want from us? We are a music company and we are showing you that our artists are doing well. I think HYBE have more patents and licenses. Yeah, I think they do too. I think they've been really smart to understand. Do you remember how, like, we would always complain that, like, whenever BTS came out with a concept, other artists would immediately, like, copy that concept, and, like, you know, or, like, you know, people also complain, like, oh, BTS is doing a concept that other artists already did, but it was, like, school or something. I don't know. That's, like, what people complained about at the very beginning of their debut. But more like, you know, like, BTS came out with Dynamite and it did well, so a lot of other groups started putting out disco music. There was, like, a meme going around of, like, some other artists that were trying to do, like, a discount version of BTS concepts, and people were like, you know, like the meme of, like, hey, can I copy your homework? Yeah, but don't make it obvious. I can't remember anything off the top of my head right now, but I remember that has happened a lot. And I also know that we've bitched about how other fandoms try to take things that belong to this fandom and appropriate it for their own, like the Seven, the iPurple thing, all that stuff. And I think HYBE understands that what they put out is like the creative content that they put out is something that other people want, and so they've licensed a shit ton of things of like, yeah, you want this? Too bad. It's ours. We came up with it first. We had the first best ideas, and it's ours. Like, we've licensed them. Find your own shit. Yeah, Lil Meow Meow too. They tried to take Lil Meow Meow? Who did? Do I want to know? I don't know if I care. Ugh. They use Bulletproof the Eternal for their groups. Wait, what? Please explain. I don't... How do you use that song for your own group? Man, some people just never learn. They just desperately want to be part of the, I guess part of the magic. But yeah, I mean, I think long story short, the earnings report just shows that HYBE is on top of their shit. They have a plan for everything. And I think that's why when also BTS always say, trust us and our company, like, we like our company, it's because they know all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes. They know all the plans. They know everything that's going on. Recall that they are shareholders in the company too, and their input is important. So they're always just like, whatever bullshit is going on in, you know, in the industry right now, in the market, like, we have a plan. We will be fine. Trust us. We are very happy with what's going on. Lil Meow Meow is more among other fandoms than the actual group itself. Weird. That's why it'll be interesting to see what other companies come up with now that BTS aren't doing group music, because these companies need to get creative. It's getting weird. They're gonna flounder. You know they are. Mostly on TikTok. They're trying to take Bulletproof the Eternal on TikTok. What the fuck is wrong with these people? The whale too. It was all over Twitter. People try to take our whale. We have hundreds of animals. Pick a different one. Why must you take a whale? I remember one of the other boy groups doing a music video that was one part Boy With Love, one part Spring Day, and one part Dynamite. It was confusing. Oh no. Ugh. Yeah, I think, I don't know if you guys remember, I think she's still in their employment. There was this, really famous American attorney who works on like licensing with music labels, I think, and she cracks down on like counterfeit shit on an international scale. I think her name was Debbie White. Let me see, is that her name? She did like some interview way back when, and I was like, this lady is a badass bitch. Yeah, Debbie White. Here's her LinkedIn. But yeah, and so HYBE recruited her to like help them crack down on their counterfeit stuff. This was like a couple years ago in like 2018, 2019. And because she knows how to do that. Like, she knows like what you can go after people for and what they can get away with. And so I wonder if they really like they picked her brain and had her consult on like industry stuff as well. Anyway, I love her. I remember she did some interview when she first started working with Big Hit, because they were Big Hit at the time. Yeah, so it must have been 2019. Yeah, I really like her. She came, she cracked the whip, and then she went and like then she faded into the background because she's not a clout chaser. I love her. They have started to copy other HYBE groups now, like New Jeans. Is she BTS's US lawyer? I don't know if she's their only lawyer, but like she's an entertainment lawyer, and she specializes in like counterfeit stuff and licensing issues on a like a international scale. Debbie White, big hit. Yeah. Let's see. She joined them in 2018 and said, I'm honored to be able to guide them by balancing the best possible deal by traditional US metrics against making sure Big Hit get what they really need. And yeah, and she was also there to help them navigate US media platforms. Anyway, yeah, she's cool. She's cool. She's great. So yeah. I think that's it. I think that's basically everything, right? Is there anything else that has happened lately? I'm a little out of it. I had a race this morning. I ran a 5K and then I came home and I just passed out. I slept for like 2 hours. And I woke up earlier and I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna stream. And I like cobbled this together while very like out of it. But yeah, so with that being said, you are now in the know. That's about as much as information you can glean from the earnings report. I sometimes see like news articles try to talk about it, and they have no idea what's fucking going on either. And to be honest, they have less insight than we do because they're not part of the fandom, so they don't understand like where the money comes from. We do, and we also understand if we're going to keep buying stuff going forward. So like we are able to gauge whether like HYBE's business model is good, whether they're going to keep making money. A random journalist who is just like you know, like trying to find things on the internet to report is not going to know shit. So take everything you see in those articles, including shit from Bloomberg or Wall Street Journal, with a grain of salt, because they're going to know less than we do. Which is crazy to me, right? But that's the truth. Random question. What do you think is the best way to observe and analyze HYBE stock? I'm not fully versed on stock, so curious to know. So stock prices go up and down based on how confident investors feel in the future of a company. Because, like if I buy a stock today and I buy it for $100 and the company is doing, and the company is like doing well, and everybody knows their strategy going forward, and then I can say, oh, this company will keep growing and they will keep earning money. So like in a year's time, maybe my $100 will be worth $150. So I could sell my stock in a year and I would, I would make a $50 profit off of it. Or when people feel unconfident in a public company and they're embroiled in scandals, they haven't put out good music in a long time, then the stock that I bought at $100, like people go, oh, I really should sell this. I should sell this now, because if I'm going to keep holding on to it, everyone else is going to sell their stock and the price is going to dip in the market. And so everyone starts selling and the price drops to like, I don't know, $50, $25. So the stock market is literally just confidence. And that confidence comes from investors being able to understand a company's strategy and being able to be like, yeah, I agree. If you do this, you definitely will make money. And you have evidence of making money in the past. Like, yeah, clearly you know what you're doing. Your company's only going to keep growing. So I will invest in you. So in order to analyze their stock, you just look at their earnings report, like what we just did. So looking at this, we can all agree, like, they have a good strategy. Their strategy clearly has worked for them thus far, and they have they forward. So like I think it's going to be fine. And to be honest, I think most investors are also going to think it's fine, maybe, because they can see the evidence of the new groups like being successful already. But I do think everyone in the like a lot of investors are all just also like really what do you call it, skittish, because BTS are going to the military, and there's like, that's never happened before, right? Like, we've never had this hugely popular act, like biggest boy band in the world, go to the military, and they don't understand HYBE's plan completely, because HYBE hasn't revealed it. So like, they don't know what content is going to be coming out. They don't know what to look forward to, and they don't know our fandom and they don't know like how loyal we are, and also how we have no chill when it comes to merch. I mean, there's always a chance that things get screwed up and HYBE tries to sell a shitty merch and like we all feel betrayed. I don't think that's that's a very likely thing that will happen. But yeah, so like maybe you do have a group of like a portion of the investors who are like, I don't like this. And that's the kind of stuff you're going to see being reported in like Bloomberg and Wall Street Journal, because they're gonna that's something they can latch onto. They're gonna be like, BTS is a large part of how HYBE makes money, and they're going to the military, so we expect their stock to go down in the future. And I'm like, you don't know the details. That's like a 10,000 foot understanding of what HYBE is doing and what they sell and how the fandom feels, and you know how we want to keep engaging with BTS content going forward. I hope that answers your question. All the leaks about June's album is weirding me out, to be honest. The one time he keeps his mouth shut and it's like media just saying stuff about his upcoming album. Yeah. I think they're maybe it partially got leaked because the media is also trying to like tell investors like, hey, you know, another BTS member is coming out with an album soon, so HYBE is still going to make money. You shouldn't, you know, think about your stock and whether you want to invest or divest, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, and I think the spotlight on BTS by the media is more than ever because their announcement that they're going to the military. I think it's like a fascinating thing that everybody wants to talk about. I mean, I went to the race today with my friends, and we went to brunch afterward, and even they were asking me about it. They were like, oh, I heard BTS is going to the military. Can you tell me the details about that? Like, is the fandom devastated? And I'm just like, I don't know. We're fine. Like, I mean, like, again, it's really interesting for me to see their perspective because, right, they are the GP, right? So the things that the news articles they see, the headlines they see are probably what most people are seeing. And like they were still in the whole in the whole boat of like, oh, well, weren't BTS waiting to like be waived so they wouldn't have to enlist? And like maybe they still can be like absolved and not have to go to the military, right? And I had to explain to them that no, that's not how that works. Even if you get some kind of exception, you end up still having to work do community service for the government for like 3 years. And like explaining all of that, and I'm always just like, media coverage over this is so stupid. But yeah, like on the stock graphs, do people look at the whole timeline of the company being public, or yearly or monthly or daily? So people look at over time. So if over time, like I guess from inception until now, it's trended positive, then you know that company's doing something right. And then you look at more recently, like during the pandemic, how did the company do in this tumultuous time in the world? Did they just run around like headless chickens and make no money because they didn't know what the fuck to do? Or did they have a plan? In HYBE's case, they did have a plan and they continued to make money. And then you go, okay, well, in the last couple quarters, in the last quarter, like how are they doing most recently? Are they making more money? Or did some, and then you like look at recent events, like are they involved in a scandal? Is there some drama going on with them? Have they announced big news about the future of their company, and did that make the stock go up or down? You just evaluate, like, all of that happens at the same time. You know, you look at everything. You don't look at anything in isolation, if that makes sense. I'm waiting for my live BTS CD. Me too. That would be so fun to listen to in the car. I would feel like I'm in a concert every time I'm driving somewhere. They should really do that. Random thought, maybe the 4% non-controlling owner is that Korean retirement fund that invested in HYBE. Maybe. It's not 4% anymore. You're right. It is. Sorry, I lied. It's 4% now. It was 1% before. Yeah, who knows? I mean, it could be more than one. Like, that's just like the conglomerate of all the non-controlling shareholders. Again, I need to see the fucking like full chart translated into English in order for me to understand who's controlling, who's shareholder, how all this works. There's like a specific form, like in America, that you have to fill out and report, and I would imagine there's a similar one for IFRS. For that's the standard that all this is being reported in, International Financial Reporting Standard, IFRS. And there's probably some standard form that the Korean Trade Commission wants them to fill out, but it's in Korean. We are military spouses now. Yeah, it's interesting because this is the first time I've seen global media cover military enlistment when that's been happening in South Korea with groups for a while now. I also had friends ask me a lot of questions. Yeah, well, I mean, no one cared before. People only care about BTS. And that's also why BTS paved the way. People still only care about BTS. I think this is because BTS don't follow the tendencies in doing things and teach the fandom new way of thinking and behavior. Very true. Yeah, anyway, so all of this to say, you are now the most informed, I think, that we can be. Maybe there's more things that they may have said in the earnings call. I will leave room for that, but I mean, I kind of doubt it. But yeah, I see, like, when people talk about stuff on Twitter related to earnings reports, and they share graphs and they share articles talking about this stuff, those articles are always so general, and they sound so like confident in their knowledge, and I'm like, what you're saying means nothing. So like, if you're an average layperson and you read those finance articles and you're just like, I feel like this is going over my head, like, this doesn't seem like it makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me either. It's so like generic and like just seizing on like, oh, BTS enlistment, we still expect stock price to go down. Big Hit says they have a strategy. They told people on their shareholder meeting they have a strategy, so stock price might go up a little bit again. Like, that is so fucking general. That doesn't tell you anything about anything. The fact that we just went through the earnings report and talked about what HYBE's strategy is, the success they've seen thus far with their other artists, what they're trying to do with BTS and indirect artist revenue, our own experiences with the indirect artist revenue, and our ideas of like, is this a successful thing? Like, is Weverse a success? Yes, there's still a shit ton of things they need to improve on. And if they did, it would make more money. Like, we can literally see what they need to improve on. We can literally see like the things that they've made that are good, like games they've made that are good, content they've made, like in the soup, like any of the DVD Blu-ray releases. Like, we know what is good, and we know what's like, it's okay. Like the fact that not we all, but like a lot of us want more diversity in the merch, because the merch is very unisex and like generic, and we're like, no, we want more special stuff. Like, we want more niche designs and whatever. Like, we, the fandom, we can understand where is there room for growth and what's successful and what's not successful. Those random journalists do not. So they're never going to give you the right information, and you're never going to feel like Like they're never gonna know. Like they're never gonna know because they just fucking don't. They're not a part of this fandom, and this information isn't readily available anywhere. Does that make sense? Like, I could fucking bitch about this all day because it bothers the hell out of me. And it also bothers me when people on Twitter talk about this shit as if they know what they're talking about, or they regurgitate what some ignorant journalist wrote in some article somewhere. Like, business in a big sense is common sense. So if you're reading something and you're like, I don't follow, there's probably bullshit going on. This is really interesting. Thanks, Yami. You're welcome. That's why I rely on you to make sense of it all. Thank you. I appreciate you having confidence in me. And I hope that, like, don't rely on me. Rely on your own knowledge. Like, all I'm doing is I'm taking this stuff and I'm translating it into a way for you to make sense of it. But, like, you yourself know whether Weverse is successful or not. You yourself know whether we'll be around once BTS enlist or not. Like this is something you can think about on your own. You don't need me to do that. And that's what I try to do with these Army Finance 101 videos. I facilitate it because at the end of the day, business is logical and has a lot of common sense in it. And when it doesn't make sense to you, someone is bullshitting, either because they want to seem like they're in the know or because they have to because they're a shitty journalist who has a deadline and they're trying to write whatever the fuck they can. I miss most of this. Well, don't worry, it's recorded and it'll be there for you, so you can listen to and watch all of this and be in the know. But yeah. Anyway, I think the HYBE like community update is coming up soon, right? I'm really looking forward to that. If you guys don't know, every half of the year, HYBE does like a corporate briefing. That's what it's called, corporate briefing. And they just talk about their business, their strategies, their successes, their plans for the future. And it's basically like a much prettier and nicer version of the like limited information they can provide in an earnings report. And it's there to like cause hype and to make people excited about what's coming up for the company. And it influences their stock price, right? Because if an investor watches that and they're like, oh, they have some cool shit coming up, I'm gonna go buy some stock. And when everyone does that, stock price goes up. I'm excited for the briefing to see what they have planned. It was postponed for the morning period. Yeah, do we know when it was rescheduled to? Let's look this up. HYBE corporate briefing 22. Yeah, well, they were supposed to do it on the 4th and they didn't. Yeah. So do we know when? Like, have they rescheduled it yet? If it was supposed to be on the 4th, maybe they'll do it next week on the 11th. You know, keep to the same day of the week. But yeah, I always look forward to those because I'm a nerd. Yeah, maybe we can do a little bit of a debrief. A debrief on the corporate briefing. But yeah. Thank you, teaching. I don't know nothing about this. Please recommend book or maybe 101 Money and Finance for Dummies. Oh my god. Well, that's also my problem. A lot of stuff related to business and finance, they like to make it seem complicated because people like to feel smart. And I'm like, no, that's why I like business and finance. It's logical. It's easy. It's simple. It makes sense. I'll think about it. Maybe I can share some stuff on my Twitter. Otherwise, I don't know. Search on YouTube for intro to business, intro to finance. That might help. You can just post it on Instagram. I'm about to die. Can you believe that I turned on notifications for them? They still don't work for me. I also have a spare Instagram account that I made just for BTS, so I would have an easier time of finding all of their stuff that they're posting. Oh, did he get a perm? Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. No, I can't. I'm not logged in on my computer. Oh my god. Look at this baby. He is living his best life. I will be so sad when he has to get rid of this hair when he goes to the military. Maybe that's why he's like really indulging right now. Oh, I love their hair so much. All of them with their long hair look incredible. Incredible. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go. I'm going to hide the scissors. Yeah, I'm going to go enjoy staring at beautiful Yoongi. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys have a lovely evening, morning, afternoon, wherever in the world you are. Hopefully you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. You can ask me in the comments or on Twitter. Either the Armyverse Twitter account or my personal one. Anything works. But yeah. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.